My shop. I do what I want. Wheelie popping, trike. It's getting a little closer. Got the disc installed back on the chassis. I put the engine back in and got the hydraulic pump put in yesterday. Made a decision on the seat and the fabric, but of course, no good deed goes unpunished. So I put all this back together and I realized it's still not where it needs to be. So we're gonna have to decide. The forks are still hitting the disc. Remember, it was really bent, and now that it's straight, it's not gonna steer, and the engine is just barely clearing. So rudimentary, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Let's recover. Okay, that's the thing, fast and loose, right? You make some big plans, you make some big choices, and then you gotta go back and fix it. Look how close this is to the engine. Not that we'll need this light here, but the alternator pulley comes out considerably, so once this tilts, it's gonna hit that pulley. In the front, you can clearly see it's resting on the fork, so that is tiltable. So to get this off the forks is pretty straightforward, but then it comes down and hits the pulley. So bottom line, we gotta raise that whole scissor lift up yet again. Follow me here, there's still more. When I was messing around with this, the engine wasn't in place, so of course I put the engine in place, and that is right in front of the exhaust port. Not a huge deal, we can always modify that, but when you look at the next part, it really needs to change. Got that camera down low and locked on frame. So, you can see how the saucer is hitting the forks pretty clearly. I set up, I have tires, they're both 26-inch diameter. I have wide ones and thin ones, same height. So that axle nut right now, the center of the axle is at 13 inches. Cool. Tire is as if it was on the ground with that axle stand under it. But the angle of the chassis is raking down. So what that means is if the suspension, it's going to, the suspension's gonna move. So right now it's very light. So that means the chassis is only gonna come down in the rear. What that means is you pop a wheelie, it's gonna squat, it's gonna come down in the back. The UFO right now is almost horizontal. So if the rear of that comes down, then the UFO itself is tilting up. And I don't really like the look of that. I like the hot rod UFO look, pointed down in the front. So what we have to do is lift the entire thing, the entire UFO off the chassis enough to at least level it with the frame as it is now on the bottom. At least that much. But, okay, fine, we bring up the back, that clears the engine, right? But we gotta bring it up, I think, at least 3 or 4 inches to clear the forks. So it's a considerable lift. This thing's going way up in the air. And even with me sitting in it before, I was low. So we may be making a whole new seat frame in addition to all the other stuff we're doing. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tack weld that scissor lift shut. I'm gonna cut the welds off and then bring the crane in, and we're gonna position both of these. So time lapse? I think so. That was pretty straightforward. It's close now. I'll measure this off the ground just to see. About 23, so it's definitely pitching down. But remember, the trike body is pitching down also. So I think I could live with that. It moved forward a little bit. You can see maybe the mismatch here. Not much, about an inch, but it raised up considerably, more so than back. But here on this support bar, it's 1.25 inches up. So maybe I'm gonna get 1.25 inch spacer temporarily and just see. On this side, it's 2 inches, so let's just, maybe we bring it up 2 inches. What I'm trying to figure out here is what looks best, right? I gotta make new mounts for this, and raising it What I'm saying here is that it makes the UFO appear to be flying, but I like lowered vehicles, right? So there's kind of a caught between two worlds. Raising it gives it more tire clearance. I could put taller, wider tires, but lowering it to me obviously looks cooler also. Unfortunately, that is going to hit the forks and the engine. Tough one. But there's plenty of room here for the engine. You know what, let's just do an engine. I got these two little dealies that'll raise an inch and a half, and that's how wide that is. And it doesn't look like it's shifted left or right at all, so that's good. It looks exactly the same, it's just higher. Let's just drop the front down a little bit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lower that, and I'm going to put a strap on the back of that. So what this accomplished was getting everything set just with enough clearance for the engine and the forks. Now that's pretty tight, but I do want to have it, that's pretty tight, but I do want to have this as low as possible. Yeah, and looking at it now, the UFO is starting to take a little downward pitch. I think we want more. All right, cool. So what this is showing now, with the audio being bad, I'm using 1.5" angle steel on this plate that I mounted to the original body mount. So I'm bringing a vertical piece from that body mount area up to the scissor lift thing on both sides. So there's a bolt, there's that vertical piece, and it welds in pretty tighty right up to that lower portion. So it does two things. It grabs that rack, and also it adds strength to the existing mount. You can see here how it puts it all into one piece. Very strong. We're definitely getting somewhere now, but it's just like always. We're gonna patch a band-aid on it so that we can move some stuff around and carry on. This side is gonna hit the exhaust as well, so this is no good. I'm thinking about a cross member under the frame horns that comes as wide as this and then vertical. But when I say band-aids, I mean I'm going to reattach this so that we don't lose the orientation of the disc, and then take that strap off. Remember, we're leveling that. So this is going to hold it temporarily so we can get that strap off, and I'm going to build that cross member. I think I'm going to kickstart it. Ooh. So all in all, it works as it did before in our horizontal test, but now the scissor lift is extended enough to get the angle of the dangle and the entryway correct. So I call that a success. A lot of fussing around with this episode. Microphone troubles, etc., etc. But the good news is all the mechanical stuff stayed together. So any words, Jamie? How are you feeling?
Thanks for watching. We love you guys.
Yeah, we're sitting here trying to piece together a bunch of footage with no microphone. Look at the swing around angle on this camera work.
It's gonna be so cool.
So that's the thing, like you could drive it just like this too and freak everybody out.
How would you see out of it though?
You could see out of the side.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but then you could tilt it up in the front also.
That's so neato.
So yeah, sorry about the audio on this.
Sorry.
The next episode, we're going to do the hydraulics. I talked about that during this point right here. So come on back. We're going to motorize this thing with hydraulic power.
Ooh.
It's going to be awesome.
Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Love you.